Hello and welcome to the Craven Comics YouTube channel powered by the Nerd Store. I am Brett Duke and I will be going over one of the most important comics you could say that came out ever. And thank you to recent times, it has now become a graphic novel. Now, there's so many people that are now just getting into comics just because of, well, the Suicide Squad movie came out, we have Batman vs. Superman, of course Civil War, and we've been able to get comic movies out for, I guess we've been the better part of a decade now. So we've been pretty lucky. But because of all these movies that are coming out now, we are now left with so many people that are now wanting to know what is it going on in the comic book world. That they're new, they're excited, and they just don't know where to start. And it's understandable. I mean, there's so many comics out there, and of course the new ones, the Batmans, the Supermans, the Wolverines, there's so many of them out there. Where do you want to start? Where was the beginning? Because sometimes they reboot so many times. But with that being, I'm going to be talking about the Batman Chronicles Volume 1. Now, why is because of Batman, the world changed. May 1939 was one of the most expensive comics now. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars if you have that one. But also, it changed the comic book world, not in just that time, but as we know, forever, it always will. Bill Finger and Bob Kane, those two, brought to life this character that wanted to make his city a better place. Now, we all know about Batman, we know about his villains, but do you know who was his first villain? Do you know when Robin came into play? Do you know when he met the Joker? So many things that we know about, but we don't know when they first began. And that's what this is about, is that this takes you back to the beginnings of those 1939, 1940s, and so on. I mean, this is just volume 1, so it's going to go through the first issue in May 1938 all the way till, I believe it'll go all the way up till 1940. And you're just going to be able to know all the firsts of everything up to, I believe, Catwoman. So give it a shot. I mean, it's only $14.99. I do know that the Nerd Store, they do keep in stock not just the Chronicles of Batman, but also Superman, The Flash, and many other DC characters. So if you check out their Facebook page, it's just the Nerd Store /UTA or UT, and you'd be able to have an opportunity to check around, be able to see maybe there's other things that you want, some Funko toys, some Pop toys. Also, there's thousands and thousands of comics here that you'd be able to check out too. So I would say give this a shot for those that are new to comics. And also, if you've been doing this for a while, maybe you just don't know the beginning, because the beginning is where it all began, of course. And when it comes to our favorite characters, we like to know everything. I mean, that's why they're our favorites. We would like to know everything about how they became who they are today, because every issue, as we know, shapes them slowly but surely to how the writers and artists dictate how things are done now. And with Bill Finger and Bob Kane, I mean, they wrote and drew for many, many years because Batman was their breadwinner for sure. As we know, I mean, Batman's everywhere now. And if you're wanting to be able to know of how he was at the beginning, because we know now, I mean, he tries and saves anyone possibly that they can when it comes to them falling, if a damsel in distress. But at the beginning, they're still trying to figure out how they wanted Batman to be and how he wanted to dress and how he wanted to fight. So you might see some things that are different to how Batman is now, because of course when it comes to him molding the person that he is now, he wasn't always like that. So you might see some things like, you might see Batman with a gun, and you might actually see him being okay with someone dying. So while you're reading this, kind of have an open mind. I mean, there's going to be a lot of, well, the art's not going to be the greatest. The stories may be short because it was at a time where they had multiple stories in one comic. So instead of having 20-something pages to read, you're only going to have maybe about 5 or 6. But it's a must-have because, well, you get to know the beginning of how Batman was. So you can check this out, of course, at the Nerd Store on their Facebook page. We'll leave a link down at the bottom that you can check that out. Also, you'll be able to find it anywhere at your local comic book store. So with that being, give it a shot. I would give this, if I had to give this a grading, I mean, I'm not going to knock them down because of the art or the story, just because, I mean, this was back in the 30s and 40s. But I'd still give this, with the imagination that they had and some of the stories that they had going, I'd still give this a A-, just because some of the stories in here are really, really well done. You can tell that Bill and Bob put a lot of thought into this, and this is just the first volume. So there's going to be, I believe that they've done up to 10, 11, 12. So it's not like there's not that many. There's plenty of these that you can actually just pick up and read, and it's good for kids. I mean, this is something that if you have a 6-year-old that's starting to read, or someone that may not be the best reader, this is a perfect thing for them to pick up because they're able to understand it. They're able, well, there's pictures, of course, and it's family friendly. So with that being, another thing that we'd like to bring up is at the Nerd Store, they have actually a exclusive cover with Generation Zero of Valiant. This is issue 1. Now typically this goes for $9.99, and right now it's actually only going for $3.99 for a short period of time. So if you go on their Facebook page, let them know that you're interested in this, because there aren't too many of them left. But let them know that you saw this on our YouTube channel, and they'll be more than happy to give you that discount. So with that being, this is the Craven Comics YouTube channel. Please leave a like down at the bottom. There's also multiple other videos that you'll be able to check out right here. So just click right here as well, just to see our other reviews that we've done. And thank you for watching, and you have a good one.